Hello viewers, welcome to the masterclass series of Meru International School. This is Jyotirmay and today we are going to talk about spelling rules. Yes, we have spelling rules. You might have seen some students who are facing difficulties while writing few spellings and even reading them. So if they are aware of these spelling rules, it will definitely help them to get along with the spellings and read them properly, and while writing also it will definitely help them.
Let's have a fun-filled spelling time. What is a spelling? Spelling is the process of representing language by means of a writing system. Spelling is the writing of one or more words with letters. It attempts to transcribe the sounds of the language into alphabetical letters. But why do we need to learn spellings? As we all know, English spellings can be confusing, especially for the non-native speakers and writers. In the following presentation, you will be learning the rules of spellings and also help yourself in regulating the spellings. Let's have a knowledge about spelling. What is spelling all about? Spelling is all about phonics or phonology. That is how words sound. Morphemes, how words are constructed from meaningful elements. And homonyms, words that sound similar but have different meanings and spelling, also known as homophones. To learn phonics, the first rule is to understand short vowels and long vowel sounds. Short vowel sounds occur when the letter is not pronounced by its name. Short vowel sounds happen when a vowel is placed next to a consonant, such as in cat, k, a, t, cat, where a is giving a sound instead of a sound. In the same way, long vowel sounds sound like you are saying the letter itself. Long vowel sounds are created by placing two vowels together or ending the word with an e, as in mate, where a is giving its name a and at the end e is there. Let's see few examples of short vowels and long vowels. A as in apple, a, whereas for long vowel, a as in ape. E as in egg, eh, is the short vowel sound, and E as in long, eat. You can see the vowels are giving its sound in short vowels and its name in long vowels. Similarly, I in igloo and I in eyes, O in octopus and O in oatmeal, A in umbrella and unicorn, U. So these are the sounds, and you can find the difference in the sound as long vowels and the short vowels.
The next rule is the magic E words, where the E is added in the end of the word and it changes the sound of the vowel. The silent E makes the vowel long. As we can see, hat, when added to E becomes hate. Tap, when added E becomes tape. Cap plus E becomes cape. Cut plus E becomes cute. Fin plus E becomes fine. Sam plus E becomes same. We can see that all the vowels are changing its sounds to its name when E is added to the end of the word. You can see few more examples such as bone, tame, hope, flute, tune, cube, time, side. Similarly, when there is a long vowel sound in the word, we can find that E is at the end of the word. So this is called the magic E rule. So whenever you find E at the end, you can understand that the vowels in the word are giving its name. Next is when two vowels are walking together, the first vowel is talking by saying its name and the second vowel is quiet. Confusing? Let's see what it is. In these words, you can see there are two vowels in the middle of the word. In the word boat, you see O and A. This vowel team gives only sound of O and not A. So, we can say that the first vowel is talking and the second vowel is just walking. Similarly, you can see the words road, toast, soap, free, sleep, seed, meat, eat, read, reach, seat, rain, sail, faint, and brain. You might have observed that in all these words, only one vowel is giving its sound and the other vowel is silent. So this is the third rule where two vowels are together, only the first vowel will give its sound and the second vowel will be silent. Now let's see what are consonant blends. The name itself says that when there is a combination of two consonants in a word, it makes a blend and they give a new sound. As a consonant blend is made up of consonants found next to each other in a word where you say the sound each makes as you pronounce the word. Let's see few examples for that. These are few consonant blends or digraphs. Bl, where you can hear both the sounds b and l. Bl. Br, as in bread. Ch, as in chicken. Cl, as in clown. In the same way, you can find different digraphs and blends. You can give this activity as a fun-filled activity where the child have to blend different consonants and make the sound. This will also increase the knowledge of blending the alphabets. As discussed in the previous slide, digraphs are also a combination of two letters, whereas these digraphs represent only one sound, as in ch, chair, k, back, cough. Here you will observe that G and H are giving a new sound of f. Knee, where you can see that K is not giving its sound and is silent. L, as in ball, all. Ng, as in king. P and H are giving a new sound f, as in graph, photo. You can also see Q and U together gives a sound of qu, quack, queen. Similarly, you can see sh, th, v, br. There are few vowel digraphs also where they give a new sound, as in AI, AE, main, paint. AY gives the sound of A, day, play. EA gives the sound of eat, read. EE gives a sound of E as in bee. OA gives a sound of O, boat. And UE gives a sound of U, blue, clue. The next rule is syllabification. What do you mean by syllabification? It is nothing but separation of a word into syllables, where spoken or written. This can be a particular problem with very long words. The child should understand how to divide the word into small chunks and then again blend the word and read the word as one. Let's see few examples and the rules to follow for syllabification. As we can see, every syllable contains one vowel in it. Open vowels are equal to long vowels. Our control vowels always stay together. Vowel teams stay together. Closed vowels are equal to short vowel sounds. There are few more rules to be followed when dividing the word. The first rule is divide syllables before a suffix. If there is a suffix or a prefix, the word should be divided in the place between the suffix and the prefix. As in teacher, teach-er, rewind, rewind. The next rule is divide between double consonants or divide between two middle consonants. When you see there are two consonants together where it is a double consonant or two different consonants together, you have to divide the word between those consonants. Such as furry, furry, pumpkin, pumpkin. The next rule comes is divide after an open syllable with a long vowel sound. As in acron, acorn, acorn. Next is divide after the consonant when the nearby vowel has a short sound. As in planet, planet, planet. The next rule is divide before consonant LE word chunks. When a word is having LE at the end, you have to divide the word from the consonant before LE. That is rumble, rumble. And when you have a compound word, you have to divide the word between the two words. As in sunshine, sunshine. I hope these rules are clear. So let us go for the strategies to be given to the students while teaching. You can have few strategies and help the child learn the spellings in a correct way. The child may not be learning the spellings if you ask them to read and drill. So let's find few fun-filled activities. As we all said, you have to start the phonic sounds first to understand the rules of the spellings. Then you can explain different rules. You can use small flashcards for each words and you can use a different topic for different flashcards. After the child is aware of the words, you can even give him some hands-on activities with those words such as board games, word building activities and worksheets. Here we can see some word building activities. You can see in the picture how the children are giving these letters and ask them to form words with different categories. Like in the first picture, the child is making words with AR, that is R sound. In the same way, you can see in the next picture where the child is putting the missing letters. These activities will be fun and the child will learn through this play. So you can also have a good time playing with the child and have a good learning experience with the child. The next thing which I would like to explain you is the double doodle activity. This is one of the activity which will help the child to enhance and activate both brains. You can use this activity before teaching something where the child's concentration will improve. Let's see how this double doodle works. I'm going to show you one activity which will help the child to increase his attention span. This activity is called double doodle activity, which will help the child to activate both brains, that is the left brain and the right brain. I'll show you how to do this activity. You can take A4 sheets and make different patterns in such a way that it is symmetrical. Okay, so you can see that all the patterns are mirror images, and you can put that in a sheet protector so that the papers doesn't spoil. You can use it multiple times in different ways. If you are giving this pattern to the child, ask the child to keep his finger or any of the caps or any of the things like this where he will be going with the line. He has to use his both hands together and follow the line. You can see that the child is doing few designs easily, and at the same time he may feel it difficult to draw few lines like this. You don't have to worry about this. You can just make him practice and he will be able to do it. This will help the child to activate his brains and the concentration levels will definitely increase. Once your child is able to do this with the coins or the caps, you can ask the child to take two different color markers and draw on the line with both the hands together. He can make multiple patterns with the markers. Not only this, he can make trees, butterflies, etc. Now we are going to learn one more strategy where you can teach the child to write the spelling and learn the spelling in a fun way. So let's get started. This is an activity where the child can read the word, then he can build the word and then write the word with a marker. So I have taken an A4 sheet and made this chart and kept it in a sheet where it will be protected and then it won't be spoiled. You can laminate it or you can put it in a sheet protector. I made these small cards with the words which I am teaching the child. Like if I am teaching the child the family words or A letter words, which are CBC words also, I made all the cards with the same pattern. So now I will take one of the card or one of the word and keep here where the child have to read it. Then the child can select these letters from the letters here. You can make these letters and with any of the things you have, or you can use the scramble blocks also. So the child have to pick up these letters from the group and then put it here as S, A, P. When the child is able to build the letter up seeing this, then he can take a marker and then write it down. I have taken four lines so that the child will have the similar type of pattern of lines as he is seeing in the book. So you can also teach the line alignment with this activity. In this way, the child will be reading the word, then building it by taking the letters from the group and identifying the letters, and even write the same letter. So he will be learning same pattern, same letter in 3 different ways. So this will definitely help him. So this board game will encourage the child to learn the spellings in a playful manner. So you can also spend a quality time along with the learning with the child. We can make such board games for kids with the words we are teaching them. So in this board game, I have taken short A words, that is CVC words, where the child is going to learn 3-letter words. You can ask the child to throw the dice, and whichever number he gets, he can go to that number and read the word. Like if he is reading cat, he has to say the phonics also as k, a, t, cat. And then you can also play with the child and have another word, and you can also read like t, a, g, tag.
Thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed all these spelling rules. Stay tuned for many more updates.
The MCLAP program is integrated into most subject lesson plans and has block periods allocated to it for its implementation right from preschool to senior secondary. The primary years, the child learns team building, collaborative, socio-emotional skills, hard and smart working, positive attitude skills, and many more which are required to build a great institution and a great society. Exposed to careers, profession and industries which are grade level appropriate. When you come to middle school, there are 100 to 120 hours of carefully curated MCLAP program which basically revolves around all of the above at a higher depth. There are regular aptitude tests that are conducted. Basically, the Meruvian is pushed into researching for his or her own future, which is a very exciting space to be in for a child or a parent or the school. For example, if law is picked up as an area of interest, the parent and the child are informed about the job description, the social and emotional intelligence skills that are required for that particular job, the challenges that come with the profession, the famous personalities of that particular industry, the universities and the examinations that need to be written to get into these universities, etc. All these are informed to the parent and the child to make a conscious decision. Along with this, 1 or 2 weeks externship program is designed based on the profession, career or industry the child picks. It's mapped to the child and it has to be pre-decided, so that we have enough time to curate that kind of program for them. All this enables the child and the parent to make a conscious decision which is more methodical, research oriented, passion oriented, based on capabilities and abilities of the child, and most importantly, happiness is the reason why a child should pick up their future in this manner.